Good morning, everybody. This is Seth from Seths Coffee in Little Chute, and we're doing a little business spotlight with the Little Chute Kimberly Library. And so today I wanted to take a little bit of time to share a bit of our story as a business and what we've been up to over the last 2 months with our totally modified business operations and some of the updates we've been making around the shop and things that you might notice are different when you come in. So I'll start by and you're also more than welcome to leave any questions in the comments, or just if you have a question about the business or about what we do, or if there's something about our story or our product that you're wondering about, I'm more than happy to answer any questions throughout this. I'll try to get to them as I see them. But yeah, to start with, I'll give you a little bit of the background of how we came to be. So I was born and raised in Little Chute and had always, I think for about 6 months when I was in high school, we had a coffee shop here in Little Chute, but outside of that, we never had a place like this to go. So through middle school and high school, I always got rides from my parents to downtown Appleton. I spent a lot of time at Copper Rock and Akoka back when it was called Beaners, and Pilgrim's Cafe, and even Brewed Awakenings. I spent a lot of time at those cafes growing up, and then when I got my license, I was there probably 5-6 times a week, hanging out with friends, getting coffee or tea. So once I graduated high school, I'm not a naturally business-minded person. That wasn't an aspiration of mine forever to open my own business and be my own boss. But after I graduated high school, I went overseas to Europe for a year of Bible school. And after that, I didn't really have a whole lot of direction or plans or, real aspirations, I guess. So I hopped on a plane, went to North Africa for just over 2 months. And while I was there, felt it was a very clear next step in my life to pursue opening a cafe. Spending a year in Europe was a lot of exposure to a lot of really great cafes, and just seeing how that was so integral in the culture in England, but primarily a lot more when I was in Italy, Spain, and France, just seeing how cafes were a part of everyday life for people. So we decided that was part of the inspiration for it, is I wanted to provide that for Little Chute, and obviously had the context of me loving cafes and in my school years too, going a lot to coffee shops. So that's what I decided I was going to do. So I came back from Africa, I moved to Santa Barbara for a while, took some business and baking classes at Santa Barbara City College, just to get some basis for maybe what I would need to open my own business. Moved back home, did another year of classes where one of the classes was all for the sole purpose of writing a business plan. So I had my business plan done, I had the concept, I knew I wanted to be downtown, not out closer to the highway, and so I started sending out the proposals because I obviously needed funding for this. So I sent out all of my requests for financing to some personal investors or potential personal investors. I went to banks. I had no success, or even the semblance of success, in obtaining financing to open my own business for quite a while. It was actually in 2008 when I sent that out, so it wasn't the best time for our economy. Banks aren't super interested in giving loans to 21-year-olds that don't have any collateral. So anyway, fortunately, I had a couple of the personal investors that originally said no circle back and say, let's make this happen. So between those two, and then Village of Little Chute gave me a loan from their revolving loan program. So we were able to, on a very small budget, come into the space that we're in and renovate it completely. It used to be, I don't know if anybody's in here before, but it was blue carpet, drop ceiling with fluorescent lighting. It was just a really bland space in here. And obviously, to have a welcoming cafe environment, we had to do a lot of work. So we did a pretty hefty amount of renovations for a few months and opened in September of 2009. Through that process, this is another fun part of the story. I knew my now wife, Kate, for many years through our church, but I found out she was a potter, and she knew that I was going to open a coffee shop, so I told her my intentions, and she said, when you get to the day when you're ready to do your coffee shop, let me know, and I'll make the mugs for you. So we spent a lot of time together that summer getting she made a bunch of different samples, and then we started dating actually the day before the coffee shop opened, and then we were married a year later. And then we have 4 kids, and we've been in business for 10.5 years in Little Chute here, and our drive-thru's been in business for 4.5 years. It's been quite the decade. So that's a little bit of our story. As far as how we do what we do here, when we first opened, there wasn't a whole lot that differentiated us from other coffee shops. We did a lot of the typical cafe fare, pots of coffee, bakery, and whatnot. Yes, all of the mugs are handmade by my wife. We have a few smaller espresso cups that we buy from Intelligentsia, but all of the ceramics here have been, since the beginning of our business, made by Kate. And now she's actually growing that business. She's got her own studio. It's called Whitechapel Pottery, and she continues to supply us with our mugs, and then she's got some of her own stuff for sale here, and she's got her own Etsy store and whatnot. But yeah, the coffee shop has bloomed and blossomed and grown, and so has her pottery. It was a pretty good fit. Anyway, so as far as like how we do what we do, we learned a lot throughout our opening process, and the roaster that we chose to go with is Intelligentsia coffee roasters, and they're out of Chicago. And that was kind of by happenstance. We tried a bunch of samples, did blind cuppings, and me and some buddies, it was hands down, this was the best one in the lineup, even though we didn't know which coffee was from which roaster. So we made the decision to go with Intelligentsia, and they have done an incredible job equipping us to do better within the coffee industry, providing us with a lot of training and just showing us different brewing methods. So we went from really knowing baseline knowledge of coffee to I'd say, I don't know, we just dove into coffee geekery head first. Probably by year 2 we were we had laid the groundwork for what we do now. So it's been a lot of learning throughout the years too, how to use the water quality, the ratio of coffee to water, the equipment that we have. Even though we had decent equipment when we opened, it wasn't what we needed to make the best product. So we had to continually reinvest into our business and buy new equipment and upgrade. And our roaster was also really generous with us too, with providing us really good deals on brand new equipment that would make our product even better. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun to try to always find the new thing that we can do to make our product better, because we really don't like serving average products. We really like to make excellent coffee that will make somebody who's accustomed to coffee with maybe half coffee, half cream, and 10 sugars in it, that they can try some of our black coffee and actually find it tasty. That's one of the more satisfying things that we get to see, is customers who didn't know that coffee could be this good, because coffee's coffee, right? And diner coffee or whatever coffee, it all tastes the same, but then when they taste something that's handcrafted, fresh roasted, we never serve coffee if it's past 2 weeks from its roast date, and everything's made by hand. We don't have automatic machines or anything like that. So yeah, we take a lot of pride in how we do our product here. So I think I'll take the time now to show you a little bit of what we've been up to. So before the safer at home order was put into place, the restaurants and cafes, we had to reduce our seating and do a limited capacity and ramp up our safety measures and sanitation and whatnot. So it was actually a really good opportunity for us to kind of hop on doing some renovations around here that we had been slated to do in April anyway. We were going to close for at least a week to do some of the renovations that we were planning to do, so we were able to stay open to the limited capacity that we are at right now with curbside pickup and delivery, but also take the opportunity to do the renovations that we would have otherwise planned on closing for. So the timing worked out really well, and there were much needed improvements that we were making. So I'll kind of show you around a little bit. Out in the cafe, there's some noticeable differences here. There's We refinished the floors, got some fresh stain and poly on it, so those are all nice and better protected again. Rearranged some things, redid some tabletops, painted these small booths. We got some last touches to that to put some shelving on the back of it here for retail items. We have some new wrapped posts here. Just rearranged out here quite a bit, repainted, took down a lot of the art and just kind of made it a more simple palette. And then here's the crew making some takeout orders. And then in the back here we have what used to be our bake shop. So we had our bake shop and our food prep all in one space, which was very crammed, especially with the increased volume that we've seen over the years, and adding our drive-through location. We just have a lot more that we're having to output. So it wasn't very practical to keep with the space that we had, so we wanted to expand the bake shop into our back room, which used to be just a storage room. So we had to renovate that, redo the floors, redo all the walls, and add hand wash sink. So now it's, you know, we're in process here. We're in the middle of a baking shift here, but we do have a lot more space back here. Got a new oven. We were just able to arrange things in a much more practical way, which is very exciting for the staff to have a more practical setup for doing their work without being crammed or walking all over each other. And it'll help us in our efficiency as well to not be super crammed in tight space, so we can make our food orders quicker and expedite how we do what we do. See what else we got. I don't know if anybody hasn't been here in a while. We have a new deck out back for outdoor seating, and that is now set up for guests. We're going to be reopening our dining area for people to come into the cafe next week on Wednesday. So the original end to the Safer at Home order was due to expire next week, Tuesday. We were going to plan on reopening Wednesday, and we decided to stick with that even though we could open earlier. It gives us more time to finish up some of the projects we've started, and then give us a good chance to we got to rework all of our thinking and how we do what we do, because there's some staff that were pretty new when this all started, so they're not as familiar with our day-to-day functions when we're open under normal circumstances. So with reduced seating and spaced out the 6 feet apart and extra sanitation practices, we're going to be open again next week on Wednesday. So that's very exciting. We've been feeling a little cooped up and missing our customers because we get very little interaction with them when we just hand something off at the car or drop it on their front porch. So we're really excited to see everybody again and have people come in and enjoy the space again with some updates and freshened up in here. Will we have limited hours when we reopen? We are modifying our hours slightly. We are going to be reopening, so during the week we're going to do Monday through Friday from 6:30 a.m. until 8 p.m. So we're closing an hour earlier than we have in years past. And then on the weekends we're going to be closing on Saturdays and Sundays at 3. There's a couple reasons behind that, but those are the more up in the air, hit or miss times a day anyway, and it gives us more opportunity for hosting private events on Saturday nights. We have a lot of inquiries for that, for baby showers, or even, I mean, we've had like rehearsal dinners, and we've had lots of events over the years, but the only opportunity we ever had for that was Sunday night. So now we have that opened up, so if people want to host a private event here, we can do that after our normal business hours close. So that could be really exciting for us, and it also just provides us a little bit more ease with scheduling in our staff. And we have a big staff now, and we're very busy on those weekend days, so reducing it back so that we're not stretching the whole day out is going to be helpful for everything. Will we still offer delivery and curbside when we open again? We are going to not do the delivery anymore starting next Wednesday, but we will still offer curbside pickup. We know that there's a great deal of people that will not be comfortable going out and about, coming into the cafe still, and that we totally understand. Delivery on a practical level would be very difficult to do with our current staff. and we've been able to because we're not wiping tables for customers and restocking things and doing dishes and all the things that come with being open on a normal basis. Those are not happening right now, so we've been able to essentially shift our one of our baristas that's on at a normal time to delivery. So we're going to stop the delivery but keep the curbside pickup so people can still call in an order or use the online ordering. Online ordering will stay up for at least 2 to 3 weeks after we reopen. We may keep that around for longer term, but for now it's kind of up in the air. But yes, we will still offer curbside pickup, and then our drive-thru is of course still open. So that's another great way for folks that aren't comfortable coming into a space yet. They are more than welcome to join us at our drive-thru location and get things that way. And our staff they're really great about, I mean, ever since early March when this was all kind of starting to unravel a little bit with the COVID-19, they really upped the ante. We got a lot more intense about our cleaning schedules and wiping down surfaces that are touched by customers, and then of course we had to close to customers. But now we have all of our staff are in the next couple of days we're going to be having meetings and getting everybody on the same page with sanitation stations and all of our timed cleanings and sanitation of surfaces that are used and tables and whatnot. So we're happy to host those that are comfortable coming in starting next Wednesday, but for those that aren't, we will still have curbside pickup. Any other questions out there for the 10 of you that are currently watching? I'm happy to see if I can answer your questions, or maybe give you some more info on something that we offer here, or I'm not really sure. Trying to think what else I could share with you about the Seths Coffee story. I could give you a little background on why we opened the drive-thru. So that we had wanted to expand and have another location for years, and Kate and I looked at a great deal of opportunities for expansion all over the Fox Valley, and there was a lot of hesitation to doing that with our growing family and putting ourselves in a situation where we'd be committed to not only a stressful and time-consuming opening of a business, but also like once it opens, that the time required was pretty significant. So we were in talks with Lawrence University, and they said that they had a building. That drive-thru building was the old Nicolay Bank drive-thru on the backside of the block of College Avenue by Houdini Museum. And they said, if you want that, it's either we tear it down or we lease it to you. So it's a little counterintuitive to do what we do in a drive-thru context, but we were able to kind of innovate a little bit how we do things and execute well, and having an order window and a pickup window has made a lot of room for that to work out well. So it's actually been really wonderful. We love being in downtown Appleton, but also not adding to the already saturated market of full-on sit-down cafes. There's so many good cafes in Appleton, and providing the drive-thru was meeting a need that just didn't exist downtown at the time for people to get things on the go. How would you go about reserving your cafe for private events? That would be just a direct message through our Facebook page, or you could email me, Seth at SethsCoffee.com, and we can see what kind of event you wanted to host, and then talk about, if you're bringing product in versus buying everything from us, and we can come up with a situation that works for everybody. The drive-thru hours are staying the same. Yes, we actually have kept our hours the exact same as they were before all of this with coronavirus, and those are going to stay the same. So Monday through Friday, 6:30 in the morning until 5 p.m., and then Saturdays and Sundays 7 to 3. Does our staff work at both locations? We have a little bit during the safer at home. As you can imagine, a drive-thru context is a lot more accommodating to quarantine type service. So we did see an increase of volume there and people coming through. So we did have to staff heavier there with staff that we didn't have hired there. So we did have a few people from Little Chute going over there and helping out for busy times, just to make sure that we had enough people to handle all of the cars coming through. The other thing I wanted to mention is there is a giveaway of a $25 gift card for Seths Coffee, and We are also throwing in a bag of fresh roasted whole bean coffee, and we can grind it for you, of course, for whoever wins. But that goes to, it's going to be a drawing from anybody who interacts with this video, whether it's sharing the video, liking it, or commenting. Anybody who engages in this video is eligible for that potential giveaway of a $25 gift card and a bag of coffee from us. And that is for, you have 1 week from today to engage with this video before that drawing is made for the winner. Yes, yeah. There's a lot of people who are eagerly awaiting for us to reopen. We've had a number of people try to enter the cafe this week, thinking that we'd probably be open by now, and it's been hard to tell them they have to go, or they'll come and pull on the door, and it's just, you feel bad, because I know a lot of people are just missing that. There's a lot of community that happens here. We have a lot of regulars that come here every single day, and several of those regulars they'll come in by themselves, but they've gotten to know so many of our other customers and our employees that they just, like, this is community for them. And so it's been really hard to see that loss of connection with a lot of our customers. So I know there's a lot of people eager to come in, and we're eager to have you, because I am also feeling socially starved. And I love my job for that purpose. I love being able to be in a coffee shop setting and talking to people from all walks of life that come in here. I mean, we got groups that come in, we got individuals that come in, we got dates. We've had first dates here. We've had a lot of first dates here. We've had one engagement here, and like, it's just special to have that couple come in because they got engaged here, and it was a really special night. And to see them come in on a regular basis together for their Thursday morning dates it's a lot of fun. So if there's any other questions, I'm happy to answer them. Otherwise, I think that's about all I got to throw your way as far as our history and background, and for those that are interested in how we came to be. We really love being here. We love being in Little Chute, and we're so appreciative of our customer base that it's really not just Little Shooters. Like, we have so many people that are coming here from all over the Fox Valley, and we're really appreciative of how we've been so well supported for the last 10.5 years. And Kate and I have a special bit of gratitude just because of how interesting it is to try to run a business and grow a business and grow a family. So having 4 children in 4.5 years in the midst of this place running, we've just been really well supported, and we're really grateful for that. My favorite coffee drink. Well, when I opened, it probably would have been a peppermint mocha or a Jimny latte, as Copper Rock would say. I used to go to Copper Rock for Jimny lattes all the time. My love of coffee has definitely gone through a purification process, so I don't usually like the sweeter drinks. If I get anything that's sweeter, it's an iced mocha. I love iced mocha still, but it's a pretty rare occasion. Usually, I really enjoy just regular brewed coffee. So we'll do, got a friend giving me grief out there. I really love just brewed coffee, so I love a pour over. Ethiopia is one of my favorite coffees. I really like Central and South American coffees usually. Kenyans not so much, but I really love Ethiopia's Central and South American coffees made by the cup, fresh. If they're fresh roasted, then it's money for me. I just love it. I love it. Otherwise, we also really like the traditional cappuccinos. Just that little bit of milk. I'm not huge on milk these days, but I do really like a cappuccino. My kids adore coming to this cafe, and that has been one of the hardest things about quarantine for them. They accepted pretty quickly that they couldn't go to parks or go to school or go to Altitude, the trampoline park, or they couldn't go to the Y. So all these places they couldn't go, that was one thing. Like, they understood that and moved on pretty quickly. But when we'd come here and drop something off or whatever, working on a project, Kate did a lot of the mudding and painting around here, and then I was here for a lot of the other renovations, and they'd stop by just to say hi, but we'd always go out, and they're like, can we just come in and get a treat? And I'm like, no, we're not open. I can't let you guys just run around. We gotta operate within the limitations that we have right now. But yeah, they're very excited that we're gonna let them start coming back in, and all 4 of my kids love chai. They love chais, and then 2 of them like just brewed coffee. My youngest 2, my 5-year-old and my 3-year-old, always want sips out of my black coffee at home in the morning, which is beyond me. But yeah, they have their dad's taste for coffee, I guess. They also like sparkling water. That I didn't even know what that was as a kid, but they don't really get very much soda, so they like coffee and sparkling water. Side note. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. We're happy to still serve you in the meantime until we reopen, but again, engage in this video somehow with a like or a comment, or share it after the fact. That doesn't have to be right now during the live feed, but and then you can be eligible for put in that drawing for a $25 gift card and a bag of coffee. But thanks for tuning in and asking questions, and for supporting our business, and for caring so much about keeping small businesses going. We've seen it pretty extreme during the COVID stuff, with how many people are going out of their way to, even if they're not comfortable coming in. I've had an unbelievable number of people who have asked for gift cards to be mailed to them, so they'll buy them and then I'll mail it to them, and they can use it once they're comfortable going out again. Curbside pickup and delivery in Little Chute has gone really well. A lot of folks are taking advantage of that, and then the drive-thru has been really well supported, and our staff are feeling it too. You guys in your generosity have been tipping really well for them too, and they've been really grateful for that. So thanks everybody. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys soon. Next week, Wednesday, we're open 6:30 to 8 p.m. All right, bye.